Okay, so within an hour of recording that last video, I slipped through my phone and completely broke it. So that just kind of solidified my need to get off trail for at least a couple of days. So it's been a couple of days now, back on the trail, got back on at Craggy Gardens. That's it. I got back on at Craggy Gardens, continuing to head south. Still on the Appalachian High Route / Mount Sea Trail at the moment. Yep, so I've got a pretty nice view. It just came from down there. New phone, so new camera. Let's see if the quality improves. I've got a series of stairs coming up in a second. So since I got off for a few days, that put me in a little bit of a predicament when it comes to cutting through Smoky Mountain National Park. So when you backpack through, you have to have a permit. They have two types of permits, the AT, Appalachian Trail Permit, and the regular backpackers permit. The AT one, you have to start and end at least 50 miles outside of the park, and you can only camp on, in the shelters that are along the AT. You cannot stop at any other side campgrounds or shelters. You have to stay on the AT. But that permit is nice because you can estimate about what date you think you're going to enter the park, and then you have a certain amount of days to get through, a generous amount of days, and then you can stay at any of the shelters on the AT. Since I'm coming in from the Mount Sea Trail, I don't qualify for that. So with a regular backpacker's permit, you have to specifically state exactly which campsites / shelters you're going to stay at and exactly which night. So I had already stated and got my permit for a couple days now for going up through the Mountain Sea Trail onto the AT, and if I continue straight along this path, I'm not going to make it in time for my permit. So I've decided to go ahead and jump forward, do the Smokies, and then I can come back and finish this section, just so I don't have to pay for another permit. All right, so here's the trail. So back out. I do have my car for the next couple of days, which means I'm going to have some out and backs. Might try to take the bus so I don't have to do an out and back through Asheville. But let's see, those first few days were just, oh man, I was making so many mistakes. Somehow I lost my shirt, I lost my hat, soaked through all my clothes, through my quilt. Yeah, I just really need to get off for a little bit. All right, one peak, I don't know its name, and time to go down and up the next peak. This is a hard trail, but it's gorgeous. All right, here we go. Going straight on, going down. Ooh. Oh, hold on, there's another view. Just barely see a car down there. Blue Ridge is beautiful. Almost to Asheville. My videos from this section may make it look like it was drier out, but don't worry, it definitely continued to rain, at least for the first couple of days. But since I was at lower elevation, it was much warmer and much more tolerable. So much fog. There's Blue Ridge Parkway down there. Made it to the folk art center. Okay, so I have a decision to make. Still at the folk art center. So since I've come back out to the trail, I currently have my car. When I skip forward to the Smokies, I have a shuttle, so I won't have to backtrack. But right now, however far out I walk, I have to turn around and walk back to my car. So I did that last night. I've done that this morning, and now how the bus routes work in Asheville. It doesn't cross the trail very often, but there is one other spot where it crosses, so that would potentially save me 10 miles of walking back to my car. However, it's getting a little late in the day, and like when the next bus arrives, like I won't make it back to my car till like 11 p.m. and I don't really feel like doing that. I'm gonna go forward a little bit, hike out and back on the other side of Asheville, and then tomorrow I'll come and hit this part of Asheville before heading out to the Smokies.
So I did skip forward a little bit, but it was mostly walking through rain in the dark, so really no video on it. So the next morning I made it back to the folk art center and continued across Asheville. Finally, I had a good day of weather.
You know, it's not every day in the woods that you go hiking and suddenly the Star-Spangled Banner goes off. Right now I'm hiking next to the VA medical hospital, and I guess they have some like a bell tower, and the bell tower just played the Star-Spangled Banner. Like, it's fun and funny. So, good morning.
After all the cold rain going over the peaks, it was nice to have some nice warm weather in the lower elevation so I could see all the nice green plants and beautiful flowers.
More daffodils! I can see this up on the high peaks.
For a few minutes I started thinking, I'm really enjoying being at the lower elevations. There should be more lower elevation options on this trail. And then I remembered that it's literally called the Appalachian High Route. It's supposed to be the higher areas of the trails. So there went that idea. Even though the trail technically goes through Asheville, it is completely along a greenway, so unless you're going to venture off onto a side road, you're really not going to see any city.
This area is so green. I love it. Woo! I've made it to the French Broad River. This is probably the lowest point on the trail for me. Now I just got to loop back to the bus station so I can get to my car so I can head over to the Smokies. And yeah, skipping forward since today's when my permit starts. So yeah, definitely behind schedule.